100% clear that the secret to living long, which I told you yesterday for those of you who are here, and most of you should have this memorized, the only thing proven in the history of science to slow aging and radically expand lifespan of every species of animals, including primates and humans, is what? No, not slowing your metabolism. Right, that's right, moderate caloric reduction. Moderate, not excessive caloric reduction, because that could become anorexia and cause too much weight loss. And that's not good for longevity either. It's moderate caloric reduction. Moderately eating below your basal metabolic rate. Moderate caloric reduction in an environment of micronutrient excellence. The only way to radically extend human lifespan, or any kind of lifespan of any animal. And when you moderately caloric restrict, you achieve an ideal weight, and then your metabolism slows down. In other words, if I eat under my metabolic rate, I'm not going to keep losing weight. I'm going to stop losing right here, because I've already got my body fat very low. I stop losing weight, and if I eat less, I'm not going to keep losing, because my body is going to cut back its body temperature to save calories. It'll lower its body temperature. It'll lower its respiratory quotient, the amount of calories lost through respiration. It'll ratchet down the thyroid a little bit to save calories. It'll set into motion biological events that will stop me from losing weight because I'm exercising and I'm active and I have a certain amount of demand for size of muscle tissue that my body wants to have based on the activity I do. And my body wants to maintain that muscle and skeletal mass, and it'll do so. It'll adjust its metabolism to maintain that size if my body fat's low enough. And those biological changes that the body does to maintain its weight from getting too thin are the major factors that maximize human lifespan and enable people to live to be 100 years old. If you want to live longer, you have to eat less so you can slow your metabolic rate, so you can age slower. Right? I'm 106 years old right now. I said, in an environment of micronutrient excellence. And I'm also saying that micronutrient excellence naturally suppresses the apostat and makes you want to eat less calories. This works together. Even though I said that moderate caloric restriction in an environment of nutritional excellence slows aging, I'm also saying something about the opposite to that. That means as you strive for micronutrient excellence by eating more foods with high levels of nutrients and fiber, they naturally make you want to eat less food. And this all works together, because you're eating the amount of food you want to eat, but you don't want to overeat anymore. If you're overweight, like most of you are, then you're eating the wrong food, because you're not getting enough micronutrients. And because you're not getting enough micronutrients, you're developing an unrelenting and uncontrollable desire to eat excess calories that can't be stopped. When your diet isn't healthy enough, you can't stop being an over-calorie consuming monster. Can't control your behavior when you're micronutrient deficient. You have to put the fat in the wrong places. And the secret formula for obesity, if you want to get fat, is 2S plus O, and that means salt, sugar, and oil. You salt your food, you eat more calories. You put oil on your food, you eat more calories, and you sweeten it even with artificial no-calorie sweeteners, and you're going to want to eat more calories. It's going to rev up your desire to want to overeat food. Because what controls your apostat is fiber and nutrients. And because the oils are processed to remove the fiber and nutrients, you're just taking the fat portion, the calorie portion, without the fiber and nutrients. Because of that, the calories flood into the bloodstream like an explosion of calories into the bloodstream in a minute. And when calories flood the bloodstream so rapidly, it's like taking a syringe and injecting yourself with heroin. Because when they flood into the bloodstream, they go right to the brain and they signal up dopamine receptors and make you into an addict. The high caloric entry into the bloodstream have addictive properties in the brain and make you want to consume more food. And over time, it makes you dopamine insensitive too, because even though it's signaling dopamine in the brain, all the extra stimulation of dopamine from all the high rush of calories into the bloodstream makes you want more and more calories, more and more stimulation.